Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Kanto Cup, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Primeape. Primeape, always a fun pick. I had so much fun with Primeape in the Retro Cup that I absolutely had to run it again. Whenever you can run Primeape, particularly in the specialty cups like the Kanto Cup, you definitely do it because it is a special Pokemon. It is quite powerful. Always have a fun time with Primeape. And Primeape will be functioning as the closer on this balanced team. Not the normal ABB style team that I typically run. This is a balanced team, and Primeape is quite the powerful closer on it. We are, of course, running Ice Punch and Night Slash. You could run Close Combat, but I really don't think that it's necessary. Primeape is such a powerful Pokemon that if you need some fighting type damage, counter is truly all you need with Primeape. And also on this team, we've got Alolan Marowak on the safe swap. Alolan Marowak, a powerful safe swap in the Kanto Cup, as with its moveset of Fire Spin, Shadow Bone, and Bone Club, it gives it so much broad coverage on the meta. That is what makes Alolan Marowak a powerful safe swap. Also, there are not a ton of viable Shadow Claw users in this meta. This is what also makes Alolan Marowak a solid safe swap. And that is what it will be on this team, and it is quite effective in that role. Right behind Pidgeot on the lead. Pidgeot's a powerful lead because it does have access to Brave Bird and Feather Dance, which gives it quite the dynamic. Brave Bird, of course, allows you to really pressure shields or pressure health on your opponent. And if you choose to stay in, you can bait with Feather Dance and sharply lower your opponent's attack by 2 stages, which is huge, especially in the Great League format. And of course, the legacy move of Gust with Stab really chunks. And this is a powerful balanced team, guys. Both Pokemon cover Pidgeot's primary weakness of Alolan Sandslash and Alolan Sandshrew. But without further ado, let's dive into this first battle. Picking up a pretty neutral lead in Nidoqueen. The problem with Nidoqueen is it has very good bulk, coupled with the ability to debuff you and really rev up its Poison Jab damage with Stab. It's not Pidgeot. It's not the biggest fan of the Nidoqueen matchup. So what we're going to do is Brave Bird and retreat into our safe swap Alolan Marowak. We do grab a shield. That's the beauty of Pidgeot on the lead is you can threaten those shields and health like you wouldn't believe. They meet us with an excellent answer to our Alolan Marowak, and Blastoise gonna go for the Shadow Bone, and we do get the defense drop. That is amazing. So we're gonna do something what most people would consider kind of crazy here. We're gonna shield up this Hydro Cannon. What we want to do is dare them to go down on shields. We're gonna make them make a choice. Do they want to let their Blastoise go down, and they do, or do they want to go down on shields? They give a switch advantage. That is amazing. That's a win right there, guys, in this mid-game matchup. They come back in with the Nidoqueen, and we are going to shield up the Earth Power. They did have the energy for it, and that is an amazing shield. The reason why we did that is because we want the Nidoqueen on our Alolan Marowak, as that is our best answer to Nidoqueen, and they let their Nidoqueen go down. What do they have in the back? They've got an Alolan Graveler. This is amazing. Alolan Marowak is absolutely going off on this team. That is insane. Could have threatened that shield with a double super effective Bone Club before making a play into Primeape here. And at the time, I'm thinking, we got this in the bag. We resist those charge moves, but no, we get the one Alolan Graveler running Thunderbolt. Holy smokes. Would you believe that? My goodness. But we're going to look to get off a Night Slash. Doesn't quite KO, as they did sneak through a Volt Switch, but one resisted Fire Spin is all we need to take out that Alolan Graveler. That's going to be a good game. Well played to our opponent. Had a blast with this team in the Kanto Cup, and one of the nice things about running a balanced team is that you're not particularly forced to swap out on neutral leads. So here we go. We're going to demonstrate that right here, guys. This is an awful lead. As Lapras does apply super effective fast move pressure, we're not going to swap out. What we're going to do is lose lead and then look to come in with our Primeape to load up on energy. So what we're going to do is go right for this Brave Bird. They either have to shield or risk losing a lot of their health, and they do shield. So that's amazing. We picked up a shield advantage. We can now come in with our Primeape and load up on energy. What we're going to do is look to CMP tie them and deny them the energy that they were trying to overload on. If they want to get off a surf, they're going to have to shield, and they go down with loads of energy. They had a surf locked and loaded, and they meet us with a Shadow Machamp. This is okay. Gonna go for the neutral Ice Punch and see what this Machamp wants to do. They do shield. Shadow Machamp is quite squishy. As we make a play into our Alolan Marowak, we have a 2-shield advantage, and they've got an Alolan Dugtrio in the back on their team. We went for this Shadow Bone, but that was way overkill, as Dugtrio is basically made of toilet paper, as it is one of the squishiest Pokemon I've ever seen. They concede the match just as we were about to seal their fate with a Bone Club to that Shadow Machamp. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Had to start things off with a couple of fun bonus battles as we make our way into the featured set of the video, and we are picking up just about the worst lead you could possibly see with Pidgeot. That is Magneton. I know it probably is literally the worst matchup on lead. So we go into Alolan Marowak. They meet us with a Dugong. This is very playable, guys. Gonna go for a Shadow Bone. They really have to land an Aqua Pulse to flip this matchup here. The reason why is because we are resisting their fast move pressure. We resist their primary fast activating charge move of Icy Wind. And we did shield up the Water Pulse there. And because they let that Shadow Bone go through, we can now go straight Bone Club, as our neutral Fire Spins with Stab are really starting to add up. And we thoroughly outpaced to these Bone Clubs. That is all we really need. They did shield up the first one, and they go down on shields. They are trying to flip, switch advantage as hard as they can, but it's not going to work. We shield up the second Water Pulse, and we can now farm down. They will not make it to another move. And that is the beauty of Alolan Marowak on the safe swap. It can flip, switch advantage like you wouldn't believe in the Kanto Cup. And I'm going to go for a Shadow Bone on the Nidoqueen that they bring in. And we're staying in. We're not going to swap out. We're not giving them switch. We're going to force them to dump all of their energy. They have to Earth Power to get rid of us. Poison Fang is not going to do it. So they do go for the Earth Power. We come back in with Pidgeot. Going to get one Gust in and catch whatever this is onto our Primeape. We know that we live one of whatever they throw, and because Magneton is exceedingly squishy, we can counter that all the way down. We've got a Night Slash locked and loaded for this Nidoqueen. We're thinking it is just about within range. Oh, not quite, but one counter does the trick. Holy smokes! That is the power of Primeape, guys. Closing the game strong against the Nidoqueen. That's going to be a good game. Well played. I would say the key to having success with Primeape is knowing what you can take in terms of damage from charge moves. It can generally tank a base 50, maybe a base 60 charge move or less. But we are picking up a pretty positive lead in Alolan Marowak. That's the beauty of Pidgeot in this meta. They make a play into Alolan Sand Slash, and this is why we've got this backline, guys. Both of our Pokemon absolutely shut down Alolan Sand Slash. We can tank the Ice Punch and farm all the way down. If you're fast enough on the swap, they will not get to a second move. And they bring back in the Alolan Marowak. We've got a super effective Night Slash locked and loaded. They can tank one, but guys, they cannot tank two. And Primeape hangs on just long enough to get to a second Night Slash. They're going to have to go down with loads of energy or go down a shield. They choose to shield, and they throw. That is a massive win in this mid-game matchup, guys. That is the power of Primeape. We got a shield advantage, and we force them to throw energy. They come in with a Alolan Ninetales, and it is lights out. My goodness, yeah, that was a bit of a hard counter, but, you know, we've had our fair share of that as well. That is for sure. But good game. Well played nonetheless. This team was quite powerful last night in the Kanto Cup, guys, I must say. Ran into a lot of opponents that were running unconventional moves on their Pokemon. That was the story of my battles last night. And here we go. We are picking up a positive lead in Beedrill. They make a play in the Lapras, and we are going to align our Primeape onto this Lapras. That is very nice, as Primeape is our best answer to it. It also does not want to see a Beedrill. So we're going to look to play this out. We did throw a Night Slash. They did tank it. They only built up to 6 Ice Shards, so I'm thinking they're trying to overload. But no, they go Ice Beam. Who runs Ice Beam in the Great League? That is insane, guys. Holy smokes, they nearly one-shot as we come back in and farm down with our Pidgeot. I can't imagine they would want to come back in with Beedrill. They meet us with a Clefable, so this is looking pretty good for our Alolan Marowak, as it does dominate both Clefable and Beedrill. We do grab a shield with a Feather Dance bait, taking a little bit of the sting off of those charms with Stab from this Clefable. Now we're going to go for the Brave Bird and threaten the one-shot. They do shield. That is amazing. We now have a 2-shield advantage, and it is just about lights out. We're going to shield up the potential super effective Drill Run. But no, it's a Fell Stinger bait. Holy smokes, people are running crazy movesets in the Kanto Cup, but that is quite all right. This Shadow Bone will do quite a bit of damage to Beedrill, and one Fire Spin does the trick. And that Clefable does not have a prayer up against our Alolan Marowak. All we have to do is shield up this charge move. It does not matter whatever it is. It happens to be a Meteor Mash. That is quite all right, and it is just about lights out for them. As they concede the match, they were not going to get to another charge move, and we were, which would have taken them out. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Had a blast with Primeape in the Kanto Cup. Always looking for a good reason to run Primeape. It's one of my favorites from the Kanto region, and it is quite powerful in the Kanto Cup as well. And here we go. Not the best lead in Alolan Dugtrio. Going to go into Alolan Marowak. And see what they want to do. We want to try and draw out an ice type if we can, and we do draw out a Lapras. That's exactly what we wanted, as they catch our Bone Club onto the Lapras. That is quite all right. They have sort of fallen into our trap because we want to get the ice type out of the way for Pidgeot, and gonna go for the Shadow Bone here. I don't imagine they shield, as Lapras is quite bulky, and we're actually gonna play out the one shield scenario. We want to force them to throw up some shields, because they need shields for their Dugtrio to be effective. And we want to let them know that we're in here to fight back. We're not going to just let them overload on energy. We're going to pressure them with a Bone Club. They do shield as we triggered the CMP tie. Okay, we're going to let it go down now. If we want, we could farm down with a Pidgeot, but we're going to come in and get ahead on energy with our Primeape. We want to see what else they have in the back, and it happens to be a Nidoqueen. There's no way that they were going to come in onto our Primeape with the Dugtrio. That is quite all right. We got ahead on that Lapras on energy, so going to go for the super effective Ice Punch and make a play into our Pidgeot as we catch the Poison Fang onto Pidgeot. Pidgeot is sort of dead weight at this point. Our win condition lies with Primeape, and we wanted to bait back out that Dugtrio. We're going to let this go because we want to have an energy advantage on the Nidoqueen. We know that we do win CMP tie, and we know that we are even on shields. We get 1 counter's worth of damage, and that is going to allow us to outpace to the Night Slash. And again, we do win CMP tie. We're not concerned about this Nidoqueen. It is getting quite low. We do grab that last shield. Gonna shield up the Poison Fang, and this Nidoqueen will not make it to another one. We're gonna farm down the Poison type with resistant counters. That's how strong Primeape is. That's insane. On a very bulky Poison type at that. Primeape closing it strong yet again. That's gonna be a good game. Well played. Yeah, unlike in the Retro Cup, where Primeape shines as a safe swap, it's a little risky in the Kanto Cup, I will say, with all of the Hypnos and Nidoqueens running rampant. And here we go. Awful league, guys. This is awful. We have an XL Alolan Sandshrew here. So we make a play into our Alolan Marowak. We know that we can tank a Night Slash, although those fire spins did quite a bit of damage for as little time as we were in that matchup, as they make a play into a Pidgeot. So my goodness, whoa. Hard countered on the lead with our Pidgeot, hard countered on the swap, along with this massive lag spike. My goodness, the lag has been quite prevalent lately, particularly when the Kanto Cup dropped. So we tried to make the best of that mid-game matchup. We did a little bit of work on that Pidgeot there, got it within the red. Gonna tank this, and it is the Brave Bird. My goodness, this game is not going our way thus far. This is quite rough for us. But expected them to come back in with the Alolan Sandshrew. We come in with our Primeape, and they meet us with yet another massive hard counter. Holy smokes. Even though we are even on shields, this fast move pressure coming from Alolan Marowak with stab really starts to add up. They can easily tank a Night Slash from us, but what allows them to stay in this matchup is they are resisting our fast move pressure, and we are not resisting theirs. Which forces us to shield up these bone clubs. They do go for the shadow bone there, but either way, we really had to shield to try and make the best of this hard counter team that we are up against, and they do shield our Night Slash. That is unfortunate. Gonna go for another Night Slash here. Trying to throw with proper timing to maximize our energy, but these fire spins are just proving to be a little too much. We tried to aggressive swap into our Pidgeot to draw back out the Sandshrew to get a little bit more farm, but we are just too low at this point. Man, guys, I gotta say, we made that pretty close up against a Mon for Mon hard counter team. That is just how powerful this team is. But to be honest, guys, a team like that, we really had no business winning against. But my goodness, did we make it close as we end the featured set of the video. You don't get much better than that, guys. Razor thin in that last Mon for Mon hard counter matchup. Can't complain with that, guys. We still got a nice solid 4-1 set out of the deal. Cannot complain with that at all. Had a blast with Primeape in the Kanto Cup. It was tons of fun to use. It is so powerful. It hits so hard. If you're strategic with your shield priorities with Primeape, you can do amazing things in the Kanto Cup with it. It has amazing coverage in the meta with counter as its fast move with stab, along with 2 low energy cost moves in Ice Punch and Night Slash. That is a formula for a very strong Pokemon, especially in the Kanto Cup, where we had it as a closer. I think it shines best as a closer in the Kanto Cup, particularly. Unlike in the Retro Cup, where you could really put it just about anywhere. It performs beautifully as a closer, performs quite well as a safe swap as well, which we did run it as a safe swap in the Retro Cup. But yeah, Kanto Cup, I think the best strategy for Primeape is as a closer, as if you use it as a safe swap or on the lead, you might have a tougher time with it, as the 2 most heavily used Pokemon in the meta happen to hard counter Primeape pretty hard, those being Hypno, Nidoqueen, and Alolan Marowak, which is why we have the team set up the way we do here with Pidgeot on the lead. Pidgeot can do very well against Hypno and Nidoqueen. It absolutely dominates Alolan Marowak. You just really have to build around the ice weaknesses and the steel weaknesses of Pidgeot. Those are its primary weaknesses in this Kanto Cup. And you pair it with 2 Pokemon that can shut down the steel and ice types, and Alolan Marowak and Primeape. Makes for a recipe for tons of fun and tons of success in the Kanto Cup. Guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.